There's a couple of different Facebooks, that probably terminology anyway, that we should probably know about. A Facebook page, according to Facebook, is a fan page, meaning like a corporate, not agency, but a corporate feel for groups, businesses, and in our case, incidents or forests. But we're just going to do incidents. And I know some of you can't probably get on Facebook on the Forest Service Network. Some may be able to. So I'll try to be kind in that regard. So a Facebook fan page is also called a page. And then you have your Facebook personal profile is your personal side of Facebook. Facebook is the other popular, I'd say the second most popular platform for people to get information or to have information delivered to them, which is kind of what our business is. As soon as we update a Facebook page, it will populate on their profile, so they don't really have to go anywhere except for the link that pops up on their page. So we're actually bringing the news, or they're allowing the news to be brought to them by subscribing or becoming a fan on Facebook. Very handy tool. And there's a couple of things we need to know about. It's kind of intuitive. They've recently made some changes, so it requires some babysitting. But so that's kind of the gist of what a Facebook page is. And those of you in the room, we could jump on the Cradlepoint Wireless and get the raw internet if we need to. But or if you have an air card, you can use that to get to Facebook.
So if anyone here in this room, if you want to get off the hard line, off the ForestNet, go to your, you can plug in if you want, or you can get it wirelessly. You can go to your wireless or plug into this router here, which is powered by the air cards, and then you won't be on the ForestNet, which won't let you on Facebook.
Sweet.
Or you can go after it with wireless, and it's called the MBR 595, I believe. Anybody else out there in TV land, either if you can't get on Facebook, just watch on the page, or if somebody on there has an air card or some other way to get on that's not on a ForestNet, that will be the only way you can see it at this point.
So I manage a couple of Facebook pages, agencies. I still have the Capitol Christmas Tree Facebook page going. We haven't killed it because it's still popular. We'll probably hand it off to Wyoming, to the Bridger. And then I do something for my local coffee house. I work for coffee. So anyway, I set up a fan page called the Jesucita Fire as a test, and it became quite popular. A lot of people dropped off it, but I created this last year as a test to see how Facebook would work on an incident, and we were quite happy with it. So to create a Facebook page, you can just go to facebook.com/pages, and you don't have to be a member of Facebook or have your own Facebook page, which is different from a year ago where you had to. You can just sign up to be a page administrator. There's a couple of requirements. They ask you for a verification. It just says, I certify that I'm an authorized representative of this organization, which you are, being a PIO. And you fill out all the required information, and you can create your own little Facebook presence for your incident.
We have to turn off here.
Hang on, we're having technical difficulty.
Oh, it's your phone.
Now, I missed part of that, Eric, because I was logging on, but you can start a Facebook fan page even if you don't have a personal page.
Correct. You can now. Last year you couldn't. You had to have a personal profile. This year you can just go to facebook.com/pages, and there's a create button, and you start filling in the blanks, and you can create a page for your agency, you can create a page for an incident or event, or a coffee house.
Wow, this is cool.
What is it?
How do they figure out? This is the first time I've done this, and all these people are popping up that I might know already. Is
Yeah.
it just they pull it off of Yahoo or
No, they
your email
pull
account?
up your email.
Oh wow, cool. This is all cool. I
See,
know
there's
what
another
it
one.
was.
Ka-ching!
We had a light bulb go off.
And
Oh, my
Attic.
sister's even on here. Cool.
So
I
anyway,
like this one.
So, but if you want to create a thing,
hold on one second. I'm going to get ahead of myself here.
One thing, Eric, you might point out when you go to pages, it brings you all fan pages.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. There's a create a page button on the top right corner.
Yeah, create a page, and then you create your page. You make sure you fill in all the blanks correctly. Use your Gmail account, incident email account,
No, you hooked me up with that.
and it's pretty simple to do. If you've been on Facebook before and you know the layout of your personal page,
Yeah, I just really signed up.
it's,
Yeah,
it's similar to updating that. Yeah.
is your wireless
There's the fan page, and then there's Facebook groups.
How do you go into the other Yahoo?
And then we, the difference is between a fan page and a group. Group is you can control your audience. You can make it internal only, which is great for stakeholders who want to share information without being public. Or, a closed group of just PIOs. In fact, I've got a group called PIOs, I think, or Wildland PIOs that I started a while ago. Haven't done much with it, but it's public, but I can make it private, and we can share files and links and ideas that way. So there's a difference between a group and a page. Some people get that mixed up, and they think, I need a Facebook fan page, but they create a group by mistake. So you don't have as many functional capabilities as far as public information goes in a group as you do with a Facebook fan page.
Like what? What do you lose?
Well, you don't have the auto updates from InstaWeb, or if you wanted to import a blog.
But could you still import auto updates from Twitter?
No, it doesn't have an RSS feed capability as far as incoming RSS. At least it didn't 2 months ago.
So what do you do to do that? You have to have a fan page or a group page?
Fan page is recommended for an incident. I just wanted to mention groups, because if you had stakeholders you wanted to communicate with internally, or just PIOs, you can go through the group. Chris wanted me to mention the groups.
Yeah, the reason I was mentioning groups was because one of the things that the NEMO PIOs are working on with Forest this year is on stakeholder engagement. And we have been encouraged by the Washington office to encourage Forest to use social media to engage stakeholders. So those of you who are out there, it's an option. Now, if you can ask CIO for the ability to get on a Facebook page, and they will give it to you. I believe, I don't know if Cheryl is on, she had a virus and it got shut down, but Cheryl Kaplan just wrote and asked for permission to get on a Facebook page, and they let her. So if you don't have to even set it up. If you had a group of 100 stakeholders, you had your chamber, your fire districts, your nearby forests, your chamber of commerce, your environmental groups, and you were all part of a stakeholder group that was working together pre-season, any one of them can set up the Facebook page. It doesn't have to be you. You're just going to go look at it and maybe load stuff to it. If the idea is, it's a good place for you to share pictures, templates, videos that people can share for public education, but you can work together. Now, it doesn't have to be Facebook. If you don't want to do Facebook, there's wikis and other things that we'll talk about. But I just want you to know that groups is a way that you can keep a closed group that people can share openly, but that won't be made public. But on the fire, a fan page is probably what you would set up. Any questions?
Good. So fan pages are different from personal profiles. It's just basically, it's not tied to a person. In order to create a personal page anyway, you have to be a person, and Otherwise, they'll find you out and then drop the page off of Facebook. So you don't want that. You want to make sure you have a Facebook fan page versus a personal account.
So,
Otherwise, they'll kill the account for you.
so Chris, you're talking about you're encouraging the forest to have stuff set up ahead of time. So when there is an incident, are the forest then putting incident information on the forest Facebook page or whatever, or are you still setting up a separate incident page?
Well, you'd still set up a separate incident page, because what if you get 8 fires on your forest? But if you wanted to, the forest may want you to use their Facebook page if they happen to have one. Forests seem to be a mixed group of whether they want to do Facebook or not. It seems to be kind of a gray area. There's no written rule that you can't. There's no written rule that you can. Some people are comfortable operating in a gray area. Some people don't want to go there. So it's up to each forest and each forest soup where they want to go with that. So some people would rather do it and apologize later than ask permission beforehand. So it's up to each forest. But I am suggesting you do your stakeholder engagement social media pre-season, and then figure out how you want to engage with a fire.
So what are you doing with the fire page once you leave, like the Facebook page? Who's maintaining that, or does it just get abandoned, or do you?
Well, usually you pass it. At least what we had hoped for, what we talked to some of the forests in Region 6 about, was that what the forest wanted it to be up, and they knew it was there, and then they would make it part of their delegation to the next team coming in to maintain it. Now, once the fire's over, you send out you put the last update on it that says, we know the teams have gone home, the responsibility for watching this has gone back to the forest, so please watch us at our forest Twitter site or whatever. And that stays up there for good. It'll just sit there. So anyone who goes back. And then you should encourage them. I mean, part of this is driving people during a fire back to the forest. So it's helpful if the forest has stuff set up so that the fire can drive people back to the forest website and the forest Twitter account, and hopefully that grows, while you're on an incident.
So once you get the fan page set up and you get all your basic information in there, and you want to assign admin administrators, you can do that. Like here, this is my fire department admin. Here's my associate, Brent. I set him up as an admin. It's easy to do if they have a current personal page to assign somebody an admin position. All you have to do is once you're in the edit portion of the page, which I'll get to here. If you go to edit page, on the screen, it'll bring up all the admin functions, and one of them is admins. Right here, I'm the only one administrating it. It's a dead page, so not really getting updated. And there's a descriptor saying that this is a test page. People don't freak out, but you can add somebody real easy who's currently on Facebook. Or you can send an email request to them. These are people that are following me now, or I could just type in an email address to somebody who I want to be an administrator. Say, I've got a new PIO who's good at Facebook. I'll just send her an email address or an email request. She'll accept, and then she becomes an administrator. And it'll provide her a link and all that can occur. Him. I'll link to the admin side of the Facebook fan page. Some of the settings, it's pretty self-explanatory. Country, if you want just to be seen in the United States, you can do that, but of course we don't want it. We're global. Age restrictions, that's for other people or other settings. Wall settings, it's kind of an important thing. There's been discussions on who can comment and who can provide links on a Facebook fan page. Right now, the default is anybody can post something on your fan page as far as comments go, or post a link to another site in the comments, or they can post a video. It depends on your preference. You might want to unclick. Fans can post links because you never know who could post a link to an off weirdo site. Or if you want fans to post photos, you can, which is kind of handy if you have fans in there and they've taken pictures and they want to share with the rest of the fan group or fan page. They could upload their own photos of an incident. And once they do that, it becomes public domain, so you can start using them if you wanted to. But there's some different settings on the wall. And the wall, when you hear Facebook wall, it just means the front page, what everybody sees. It's like writing on the wall. You have some mobile settings if you want to update from your BlackBerry or your via text message, you can. Events. There's an events setting where you can, if you have a public meeting and you want to publicize it, you just open up your event and then put in a title, location, street address. It'll provide you a link to a Google map, and then the time of the event and when you expect it to end. And that'll go out to everybody on their page who's following you, letting them know that there's a public meeting, or, bulletin board XYZ is at this corner, come see the new map. Or
And you can also send a message to everyone,
yeah,
to all your fans.
can.
Why don't you go back to that page and show where the message is?
If you go back to edit, you can send an update to everybody that's following you. And it's right. Where'd it go? Oh, send an update.
And when they say update, they don't mean like we think of an update. Do they mean a short thing, or can you post a document?
You can't post a whole document. You can post a message with multiple lines of text and a link to a website, or like you can post a link to TweetDoc, a document that you posted.
Or say you had the sheriff's website had evacuation stuff posted on their website. You could say there's now official evacuation of so-and-so area,
Right.
and post go here for the specifics and put in the URL.
And then you put in your subject and your message, and you can add a picture if you wanted to. Little fun, little tweaky things that Facebook lets you do. Anyway, just stick to the basics. You can also target this update to everyone that's following you, just somebody in a certain state, like California, or just by city. I don't know when you'd want to use that, but you can. By state, by doing this, you're excluding some people, so you don't want. I don't know if there's issues with that, but I just do it everywhere because we are everywhere.
We are everyone.
Yeah.
We are everyone.
You can gender specific. You can target. You can, but probably not a good idea. And then just put in the text of your message, like evacuation information. Red Cross shelter's been set up here, and you pull the trigger and hit send, and that goes a direct message to everybody who's following you.
Does it also show up on your Facebook page?
It does.
Okay.
So it shows up in the wall, and as well as in your Facebook inbox. And for those of you who don't have Facebook pages, this might be kind of weird, or not weird, but you might not know what's going on. I would recommend getting a Facebook page and just doing a generic page and learning how it runs and how it feels at home. It's proven popular. It's proven beneficial for me to have a Facebook page personally. I've found people that I went to high school with. Anyway, that's a whole different deal. But I have a lot of media following me on my Facebook page, and we share a lot of information that way too.
I put my email. But you didn't put your address.
Okay, next stop on the Facebook train. We just talked about updating the fans, and sending out an update, and more information is on the manual. Embedding links on Facebook. This is kind of cool. They just recently updated how you could do this. What you can do is, if you have here I showed a weather service link. I didn't put any text into the Facebook wall. You just paste it in the Weather Service link for whatever bulletin it was. It's a Weather Service alert. And I hit attach. And what that'll do is it'll take a picture that's currently on that page, whether it's Weather Service or a Forest Service link or InstaWeb, and then you can toggle back and forth on which picture you want to use that's currently on that associated page. And I'll go ahead and do a real life post. Let me see, what can we do? I'm going to show Bruce weather. So I can take this, I can copy this link if I want to showcase this page, go back to the Facebook page, click on link, eventually, and then paste this link. Press attach, which means it puts it in there, and then it gives you the descriptor of what's on that page, and then a choice of thumbnail images. Whether you use these or not, it's okay. You don't have to. Do something kind of nice, or you can have no thumbnail at all. But it's actually kind of a draw for people to see what's going on. And if this doesn't make any sense, or even this, you can just click on it once and then change this text. You don't have to bother by going back up in here, up into the text box of your update. You just do it right in here, and it proves quite handy. And then you hit share, and it goes out to everybody. It doesn't go in their inbox, it goes onto their to their wall, because they subscribe to you and they want your information, so it goes right to their front page of their personal profile. And I'll just hit share, and it's now live. Now this is what it looks like if I were to go into my personal profile. It hasn't shown up yet. I'm not that quick. You're seeing, oh, there it is. Because I subscribed to Jesus to Fire, it just showed up on my personal wall. This is my deal. Jim Payne, hey, there you are. You're just now friends with somebody. I see what you're doing. And it's so people can click on this link and go right back to that weather page. That could be a weather update for severe weather, red flag, or it could be something on InstaWeb or Los Angeles County Fire Department, whatever. You be the judge on your incident, or you choose what you want to put up. And on the station fire, we had, I think at the Apex, we had almost 1,900 followers. And to this date, we have about 1,200. Not a lot of people dropped off. I gave the admin rights to LA County. They haven't really done anything with it. They've done a few flood things. But
LA County or the Angeles?
Angeles didn't want it.
Oh.
So
This seems pretty scary.
I gave it to LA County because I didn't want to hold it, but I guess they're using it for their flood information. And in photos, you can create albums, photo albums, and have maps in there. I put in a map, just a token map here of what happened. And it's handy. And you can also, in the description when you post it, you can put in a link to the InstaWeb, their map section, so they can get current maps, or a link to the high-resolution map or photo, whatever you put in. So essentially, the map is a photo on Facebook.
We found that Facebook is also a good place to be able to put links to Google Earth maps. The Google Earth capability on InstaWeb was not there, and then it was there, and then it was gone again. It had something to do with server space.
There's a workaround that pretty easy one.
Well, but Facebook is another place to do it. If any of you have had problems when you're on InstaWeb linking in Google Earth, you have to do a workaround to make it
Well,
work.
all we did was we just went to the page and did a hyperlink on the opening summary for InstaWeb, and it wasn't blocked, and it worked.
Okay.
It worked better than the link, actually.
But the size of maps, that's one thing I don't know if they've fixed. That if any of you remember Toddy Steelman's research from last year, she said that maps are the number one thing for people. And unfortunately, they think that we have real-time maps that we're just not showing them. So explaining a little about how we get maps and et cetera, and that's something you could do in a blog next to a fire, and which we'll talk about later. But maps are really important, and people have said to us that those topo maps that we get on IntiWeb, because of the size, the 2 meg size, aren't big enough to show the detail that people want when they zoom in. They can't zoom in very far. So having a Google Earth map with a perimeter is really important to people. So whatever you have to do to be able to do that, and Facebook allows you to do that, to link it and to show a really high resolution topo map, because size isn't an issue with that.
Hello, let me speak up for just a moment. Joe Fascinato on the LP. I think in order to do that, you're going to have to get it to team. If there is a team assigned to the fire, you're going to have to get them to generate a KML file in for that perimeter map.
Well, actually, you
It's on Google Earth.
can import. You can if people want to know this, we could probably do it. It'll take too long here, but you can import your GIS data into Google Earth and create your own Google Earth perimeter map.
It's already being done, right?
For the larger instance.
Yeah.
For larger incidents, it is not every fire, but if you know how to do it, it's not very hard. It's like a 5-step process, but you can create your own map if you need to. But yeah, most that's something. If you're on a team, or you have an incoming team, or however you want to work with them, a lot of the GIS folks are kind of skookum to Google Earth now, so they are willing to create those files for you.
It's not an automatic deal like found on fires. It's kind of got a, it's incident by incident, whether the team will do that for you or not.
Right.
If they have the time. The incident commander doesn't have something else for them to do.
And that's why I learned to do it myself, because you just don't know. Because usually they're already giving you... Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, is there a chance, obviously it's going to be too long to do for this particular training, is there a way you can send that out to us, a quick how-to for the Google Maps?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I will try to do that, or I'll have we have a group of guys, smoke jumpers we work with in Missoula, who are our Google Earth experts, and I may have them write up that scenario and send it to me, and then I'll send it to the whole social media group.
That'd be good.
It's pretty cool. So if you send out an update, like on, if you write on your wall and you do your link, or you just in regular text, and you blow it, and you do something, or there's a typo, you can actually go in here and hit remove, and it will remove it right off your page for you. And then it usually removes all trace on all your followers page too. So you can just recreate it. Another good feature on your wall is photos. If you just have one photo that you want to post, you can click on it, browse to the photo you want, and then the descriptor. And up on the top text box, that's kind of a nice draw. If you have a single photo, but if you have a bunch, you just put them in your photo albums and upload them from there. And it's pretty easy to create a photo album and then also add photos. If you want to add a photo, you just go to the photo album, open it up, and then hit add more photos.
So on a fan page, the public, you can set it, or it's automatic that the public can upload their photos?
No, you have to set it. It's default automatic.
And is it default automatic?
It's defaulted so where people can upload their photos if they wanted to.
Automatically, that's where
Yeah.
it goes to. Does it upload their photos to a separate, like a public folder?
Yeah, it uploads it to fan photos. There's a special photo album called Fan Photos that once the first photo is uploaded, it creates an album called Fan Photos, and then they can put whatever descriptor they want inside there. it takes. You might want to monitor it every once in a while, make sure that people are posting correct photos.
You can delete photos in
You
there.
can. Yeah.
Okay, so that you know how long the people have photos in town and want to share them and around town and that sort of thing. That this gives you an avenue that you don't have to go upload them all. All you got to do is flip through it every once in a while and make sure that it's not something inappropriate
Or
going
the
on.
wrong fire, or
Yeah,
you know,
but I think it's a great idea.
Melanie Times photo. Who knows? So, photos are pretty easy. People love them. It's not a high resolution photo, so it doesn't take a lot of time. It scales it down, and unfortunately, unlike like Picasa or Flickr or something, there's no link to there's no link to a high res photo in Facebook. But if you have one of these photo tools that I'm going to talk about later, like through Picasa or Flickr or even InstaWeb, you can provide a link in the caption down here, or add a caption. You can provide a link to the higher res photo in InstaWeb or Facebook, or Picasa or Flickr or whatever, and then post it here. And then that way these people, oh, this is a cool photo, I'd like to keep it. Or I'd like to get a higher res version for the media if they wanted it. They can go there and do that.
It's also useful if you know all the forests or teams or whatever that are using a Facebook page. I routinely go there and steal their fire photos when I need them for presentations, because it's a good public way when you can't find any photos, or especially somebody who's got photos of thinning projects before and after, or something like that. It's very handy for that.
Also,
I found a page, but this-
tags.
this is actually-
There's a little feature called Tag This Photo on each photo page.
Right. Yeah, I did find it.
You could, where'd it go? If there's somebody in here you know, like the IC or somebody else on Facebook or whatever, you could say this doorknob's a person. You just click on it. It'll open up all your followers, or you can just type in a name, doorbell, and then tag, and it'll describe who's in the photo or what's in the photo. It's popular if you have on your personal pages. You don't really have to use it here, but you highlight over the photo and it says doorbell, or a person, a face, or just delete or share is a big one. A lot of people will share your photos by hitting that share button. You can send it to an email address or another Facebook page, or post it to your wall. I just post it to my wall, test, post, and then share. And that's been put on my profile now.
Let me jump in and Josie, can you hear me? Do you want to share what you were just direct messaging me about? We could go to your wall, your Facebook page.
I've got one for me personally, and then I have one for the fire department, and then the static website. I actually have Twitter and Facebook on there, so people that go to my website can automatically see that they can link to Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So you could actually go to the website. I sent you the link.
Okay.
eastsidefire-rescue.org.
Is that the Facebook page name?
Eastside Fire and Rescue's page.
I think I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
Oh, is this a Facebook page or your website?
I actually put it on my website so people could go
okay.
to our website. Could automatically become a fan.
Right, I've got that.
And so,
You could, in the settings, which is a good point. Let's go back.
Did she put a button or a link?
Yeah, you can create a button in Facebook that gives you the photo and a synopsis of what your Facebook page is, and you can embed that on a website.
So, for instance, you could put Eastside Fire rescue.org, it'll actually show you there on the home page.
Ed, can you pull that up, Eric?
Yeah. I probably spelled it wrong.
East Side, one word, fire, eastsidefire-rescue.org.
.org.
Yeah, I see the Twitter link. Oh, and I see the Facebook link. Yeah, and it says become a fan, so you can just click on become a fan.
Yeah. So I'm going to become a fan.
Oregon, Washington.
Thought you were, Eric.
I am on one of my other profiles. My other alter ego. But yeah, the Facebook and Twitter will provide you a hyperlink or text or HTML that you can embed in your current websites that allow you to do this, and it's very handy to promote even other blog sites.
And where is that on the
I will
Facebook
show
page?
you.
Thanks, Josie.
So here's East Side Fire, and if I don't have admin, so I'll go back to Jesusita.
We actually have had people who take pictures of our fire and they send me their link and then I view those pictures and then upload them to our site.
So if you go to if you go to edit on your page, and you could do promote with a fan box. This little link here, it's called promote your page, and then you could set up if you want to do a blogger or another type of widget for a different type of website or blog site. You can include your stream, meaning everything you've said in this box, or everything you've posted. And click on other, and here's the text or the HTML language that you can embed in your current website or blog or MySpace page. But it's very handy. Most websites that have also a Facebook presence and Twitter presence use this. Very nice. You could also scale it as big as you want, so this is what people will see on a personal or like an agency website or a blog site.
And again, what I would suggest, if you want to, is first try your personal profile so that you sort of get used to using it. And then, like I was practicing with a fan page, I made one for my parents for Christmas. So try making a fan page for, a friend or somebody's band or a restaurant or, I don't know, something. It'll give you an opportunity to just play around with it and see what you can do with it before you really need it. You don't want to learn in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah.
You want to hire somebody to do it in the middle of a crisis.
So one tip with Facebook, and it goes the same with Twitter, or a couple of them. You make your status updates human. Not a lot of industry jargon or agency jargon. People are there to interact with other people. And if you get too technical or too jargony or too, I don't want to say sterile, but stiff, people will drop you. And if that also goes with if you update a lot and you overload them on their page, because that's what they see, and that's why they have Facebook, so they can see what their friends are doing and the people they subscribe to, or agencies or fan pages. But if you start overloading them with stuff, people get annoyed and drop you. That's proven. But don't overload.
I was just going to say one thing that, I've had even my team ask, well, what is it? What would we put on this? And I guess for me, what Twitter and Facebook give us an opportunity to do is talk about little successes on the fire. In the past, we've always waited until it was press release worthy, and then we sent out another press release. Well, and this is part of training your ops people to understand what you're looking for in terms of information, that if they've put in the press release in the morning that you were going to work on building a line on the east side of the fire from the bottom of the XYZ river to the top of the ridge, and at 2 in the afternoon they tell you they did it and it's holding. That's good news. Now, would I write a press release about it? No. But Twitter it out, and people will feel like they know. Say, hey, crews have been successful on the east side of the fire, building line from point A to point B, and it looks like it's holding. I mean, we can do little bits of information that make people feel communicated with all day long. You know, here's a big misconception, and I'm sure you've experienced it. At a public meeting, somebody asking me, well, why don't we get any information? And you've got 15 people. They don't understand the information cycle, the planning cycle, where we really don't get information, new information, but once a day, unless we're going to try to get it off the radio. You know, we try, but we really don't get a lot of it till one time. They don't know that. They think we have information all day and we're just not sharing it. So, number one, educating them about when we really do have information, but also working with your ops people and your IC for ways to release little bits of info. And Twitter gives you a way to do that. And so does Facebook. So that's
factoids.
Little factoids are good. And you don't have to overwhelm it. You don't have to do it every 5 minutes. It ought to be something that's worth reporting. But, you know, but it is a piece of news that we had no way to really share before.
Or even after the update goes out, you could add additional stuff, like, you know, fire seems closer at night than it really is, you know.
Or look at the column. That giant column you see hanging over town is just the burnout we're doing on Division B. And that's a really common thing.
And that gets retweeted quite a bit.
And it gets,
Or when the column is laying over a road.
Yeah.
Right. So, just an idea.
So, another great feature that we did on Station, as well as a couple other fires last year, you can integrate InstaWeb. There's a few hitches, but you can integrate InstaWeb into Facebook. Meaning, whenever there's an InstaWeb new article or new photos being posted, it will automatically populate in Facebook. Meaning, you can integrate InstaWeb into Facebook with your RSS feed that InstaWeb provides. I don't know if I said that all correctly or intelligibly, but so say that we have a new update that we posted on Facebook, and new photos. In about 15 minutes after we post, the RSS feed will update, and then Facebook will pull it into to the wall, if you will. So that's another feature you have to do that. And how do you do that? I'm glad you asked. Importing InstaWeb RSS feeds. It's quite easy. On each InstaWeb page, you'll have follow this incident with Twitter, RSS, and that's the one we want, or Google Earth. So if we pull the RSS feed from the Facebook page, article RSS, this is what the link looks like. I copy that, and then I go to import a blog. I've neglected to put the full link in the manual, which I'll fix. But so you can go to import a blog in Facebook, and then paste in the link, the RSS feed, and then you hit yep, I'm authorized to do it, or I can't remember what it says. This checkbox here, and then start importing. And what that'll do is every time RSS or InstaWeb is updated, it'll send an update to Facebook for you. The limitation we had last year is that the longer updates that we had, or articles, it would cut off after, 450 characters? And we tried working with InstaWeb folks about that, and we really didn't get much progress. I'm hoping it might be changed this year as far as the InstaWeb or the RSS feed length goes. So we had to be cognizant of our article size. when we hit update. So,
But you can also put on the side of your Facebook fan page a link to InstaWeb. So
Absolutely.
that, that's drive people there as well.
And also, if you don't want to do InstaWeb, you can do the RSS feed from your Twitter account. So when you send a tweet from TweetDeck, say, in about 10 minutes, it will update automatically on Facebook, your tweet on your wall. And the same goes, I've provided instructions how to do that too. Just take the RSS feed, this little window here, this little screen print is your RSS feed for your Twitter account on your main page. Copy that little link into import a blog, paste it, and start importing. And what that'll do is every time you send a tweet, again, it'll update your Facebook page automatically. You don't have to really do that. That's an option for you. Or if you like to update both at the same time, or have different things for each platform, you can. But this is a good option. I do this at home, so whenever I update my fire department page, within 10 minutes or so, it will update Facebook for me, our Facebook fan page. And that's my, import a blog. Since my website at home has RSS capabilities, I just use that to update our Facebook page automatically. I don't have to do 2 events. So, any questions on that? All right. Here's another feature that Facebook has. It's relatively new. It's tweeting from your Facebook fan page. Meaning, you can set this up where you can send an update on your wall, Facebook wall, and it will tweet it for you. It's kind of the reverse situation. There's no real steps. All you have to go to is facebook.com/Twitter, and then a list of your pages that you administer come up, and then you can say, yep, link to Twitter.
What page is that on?
It's called facebook.com/Twitter.
So, but when you're on your Facebook page, how do you get to it from there? Do you know?
Well, you don't. It's an automatic feature
Oh,
that whenever you update Facebook, it'll send a tweet.
no. I'm saying, how do you get to the page to set this up when you're on your Facebook page?
Oh, facebook.com/Twitter. There's no button that comes
Okay.
up.
You have to go to that website.
You have to go to that website.
And once you set it up, you set it up, and it just runs automatically.
Okay, we should put something in our.
Excuse me, Eric, there's also some feeds directly from InstaWeb to Facebook. You want to address those now?
No. But, do you? Okay.
Not me.
I'll have to do some research on that. I've forgotten.
There is some parameters in
Yeah.
InstaWeb to go to
That's
Facebook
right.
rather than to have Facebook come to InstaWeb. So,
And can you
You
just
don't
go
remember
to
it all?
I do. I
but then you
will.
wind up, you're
the
kind of
endless
chasing
loop?
your tail.
You can actually get an endless loop going. Where
So you should probably have one or the other. Either have
Right.
InstaWeb go to
Yes.
Facebook or Facebook grab from InstaWeb.
Probably don't want to do both.
right, you do both. You annoy your people, and you'll have nobody following you, and get shut down. So this is an option. I do this for a couple of folks. Pine Top Fire Department. They like to tweet from their Facebook pages. They like a one-stop shop, simple. So whenever they update, it'll send out a tweet with a link back to Facebook. Something to look out for, though, is you might want to uncheck anytime you post a photo. If you post like 5 photos, it'll send a tweet 5 times. That a new photo's been added, a new photo's been added, a new photo's been added. That's 3 times. But you want to be careful with that. If you do onesie-twosie photos, that's great. But you'll annoy your customers or your followers. And it goes the same with links. If you post a new link anywhere on your Facebook fan page, it'll send out a tweet saying, a new link has been posted, go here. And even if you did it by mistake, it'll send it out. So
Let me
it's
jump in.
available.
I have a question. Is anybody out there having trouble besides Gene, seeing the computer screen? Okay, thank you.
Okay. So that's that. Fan page settings, we just went over that as far as the wall settings. Got kind of ahead of myself about security and people posting links. Analytics for Facebook. The great thing about Facebook is they provide their own analytics. You don't have to go to a third party to do it. On the right-hand side of your, or the left-hand side of your page, will be the analytics column. You can just click on, or I'm sorry, it's called Page Insights.
Is this, can I ask, is this only on a fan page?
It's only on a fan page.
So on your personal profile, you will not be able
No.
to practice and see. Okay.
No. Kind of wish I did, or maybe I don't. I don't know.
0.
Yeah, I have 0 fans. But yeah, you just go down to where the on your Facebook fan page, on the opening page, when you get in, on the left-hand side, you see the amount of followers you have. It's up on the screen here. Whoop. And below that, it says Insights. You just click on that link, and it'll bring up this page here on the right with the demographics of the people following you, ages, male, female, where they're from. This is a combination. Show Fire. This is my page on the left, but I kind of got mixed up here. Station Fire Analytics is on the right, where all the demographics are. We had 12,000 followers, or 1,200 followers and change. And then it'll narrow it down by country, how many people are following you. We had some from Seattle all the way down to, we had some in Scotland. But it's really handy to see who's around.
So you're saying my fan page comes up with, not my personal fan page, it says Insights, but I can't click, there's nothing to click
Yeah,
on.
good for you. Really? Huh.
Maybe because there's 0.
You don't have any friends?
No, that's not what it is for me.
And then you also get these graphs on the amount of followers you have at any one time, their interactions with your page, if they click on photos or not. It's actually really handy. You know, when an incident's blowing and going, it can start peeking out, especially if you upload a lot of photos.
Can you change the graph to show you just like one day,
Yeah,
as well as over a week?
you can narrow it down to 1 day or lifespan. So it gives you a myriad of different options, and let's go there. We're not going to have any for Hazelseed Fire. Where's my? Oh, since I don't have any insights, I don't have that capability.
That's what I can't click on either.
We are giving
Yeah, there's no data, but I'll go back to a page that has it.
So this would be really handy. One thing we won't be covering in here that people should think about is documentation. It was easy to document when all you had was a press release, but now how do we document tweets and followers and people who are paying attention? Well, if you were able to take a picture of a day that you posted an evacuation notice, you would be able to follow how many people saw your notice and how many people were online with you and how it peaked during a day when you had evacuations or something like that. So the analytics are really good tools to use for all of us. You know, you could just take that picture, print it out, and save it in your documentation file.
So here's the station fire. There's still people visiting, and it's mostly female. In fact, it's all 45 to 54. So during the floods, people still visited it, even though there was hardly any information on it. You can do top countries, graphs, total fans, and then also there's a box for page views. People have actually just gone to the page and left, not subscribing. on becoming a fan, all sorts of little tools. Unfortunately, from what I hear, it's going to change, but they're going to allow you to export this data into a spreadsheet, which is going to be really handy, especially closeout and at the end of the day monitoring of what's going on, how many people, and how effective you were in communicating via Facebook. So that's a tool. And then post quality is, okay, yeah, in December we were high in the post quality, but we had nothing going on. So for some reason something happened there. And then we could actually slide back. See if I can go back to August. No, it won't let me go that far. No. But kind of the gist here, and you get to play around with it and see what information you like to glean from your analytics. And Facebook provides that for you. And I don't think there's a place anywhere else where you can get this information other than Facebook. They hold it tight to the chest. But there is an export data field. Oh, they put it in. Fan and interaction, country, and demographics. And you can export this as an Excel file. They did put it in. Okay, good. And I think they're going to put in more. So there's only three options: fan, interactions, country, and then demographics. And you can export that to a spreadsheet. Interesting. Any questions on Facebook analytics?
So back to the documentation. Are you just printing out the page like this to document? Or are you printing out the main page that showed all of your tweets or all of your followers? Or
What we did we printed out the comments in a given day of people that made comments on the page, which they can do, and the interaction people had with each other on our page, which was really interesting because you'd get some guy that posted some not critical, maybe uninformed remark on a photo comment or even just a comment about an update that we did. And then somebody ended up, it self-corrected itself. People self-corrected on Facebook. And it was really interesting to see, especially on the station fire, it was so high profile, is some guy would talk about defensible space and he got something wrong, and then somebody else came in and said, well, that's not really correct. And he just put it up.
But I think this is an area that we're a little lean on in this, a lot lean on in social media right now. There are tools that we have not explored yet. That's why I say this is all a draft and going to change between now and fire season because we're still exploring. There are tools that let you grab and summarize all your tweets and we really haven't explored them enough to say this is how you use this one. But it's something everybody should have in their mind for how you're going to do this. I don't know if it's going to be take your whole tweet deck and take a screenshot, and save those. I don't know what it's going to look like, but eventually I'm guessing that documentation is going to catch up with us. And just everybody kind of has to think about it and explore on your own and talk to each other about what you've used and what you've tried and try the new tools that come out to capture that kind of stuff and figure out what works for you. But right now, kind of the analytics. Probably for me, if I saw something going on TweetDeck or on Twitter, I would try to either copy and paste those into a Word document and get a running if something controversial was going on. Or maybe capture the page where you first posted the link to your evacuation information the first time it went out, because it's always when were you notified of the evacuation that comes up in court cases, So proof of those kinds of things, and when you first post, you might get a screen capture or something. I don't know yet, but it's something everybody should be aware of and try to work on. And share when you find something.
And then people, it says, there's one good comment that we always like. Been following the fire since day 1 or day 4 on TV, but this is much better. Keep up the good work. I paid this guy $12 to say this, but and then somebody commented, Google Picasa is much better for photos. I don't know where that came from, but these are automatic InstaWeb feeds from the station fire InstaWeb. And we'll open that up. And as you can see, it kind of cuts off at the bottom. And but here's an update via InstaWeb. red flag warning, yada yada. And then people would go in and share this, send it to their account, or make a comment. Nobody made a comment on red flag warning. And you can also delete comments. If people make a weird comment, you can go in there and delete their update or their post. Anything else interesting? Let's see. We had frequent commenters. You can see who's commenting, who these people are. So it was it's actually, we didn't do a lot of moderating on this because people actually self-corrected themselves and had a lot of good things to say, which was kind of nice.
One of the reasons to monitor this, the Twitter and this is my take on this, what I'm hoping for this fire season is that I will have, and I wholly admit in the guidelines to have made up a unit leader title, calling how we kind of divide up the staff into you're doing community stuff and you're doing media stuff and you're doing special VIPs. Well, I see us having to now have someone to manage the InstaWeb and the Forest website and all the social media stuff and everything. So I'm calling them the Web 2.0 leader because that includes social media, Web 2.0 and everything else. So this Web 2.0 leader, what I hope is that this person will work at this, monitor all day, and identify trends, identify rumors that are spreading, concerns that people seem to be talking about and having, and then come to your wrap-up meeting at the end of the day and say, here's what we're seeing. People are still confused about the road closure up on, Bose Road. Sometimes they said it's open, but then they say it's closed, and the sheriff guy's there, but sometimes there's no one there, and his friend passed through, but so we really got to get a hold of that. And, we can fix that. We can work on that. People are still confused, I think, because they saw yellow shirts in X neighborhood that is being evacuated, and there was a lot of chatter about it today. And it doesn't mean you necessarily have to respond directly back to those people, but they are issues you should address at your public meeting that night, or things you should put in your press release, or whatever. But that's what my hope is that Web 2.0 person will tell us what they're seeing, the trends, the rumors, what's happening out there, what are people talking about. And then the trap line people will go out with that information. And they'll talk to people at bulletin boards and in town about the issues. I mean, what a great way to deflect something from growing into an all-out bad rumor or situation. You can deal with it before it becomes an issue.
Right.
Right.
We talked about fan photos just real quick. On the column under photos, you have the main photo gallery or albums. And then you have fan photos. We had 55 fan photos during the station fire. We didn't really publicize it all that much, but people did it anyway. Very nice. I think I took one photo down out of all this as firefighter without PPE on. So, but it was all real good. Yeah, actually, some excellent photos on there. I actually asked a few of them if we could use them. So. Anyway, fan photos are great. And I think we pretty much burned up Facebook.